Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having yourself a great Tuesday morning. Now, if you're brand new to the channel, my name is Josiah and I trade stocks and cryptocurrencies for a living. Let's get into this market. Let's see what's happening today. The big news, of course, is, I've been calling it for well over a month now. I've said that I looked for Bitcoin to run up and test that $30,000 mark. Sure enough, what have we got here today? $30,147.94. So, we finally run up. We've tested that $30,000 mark. Now, what happens next? Well, there's a lot of things that could happen, but this is the point where I see us getting a rejection and starting to move back down into the lower $20,000 range. Remember, this is not a bull run. This is simply accumulation. And when you're in accumulation phase of a stock, of a crypto, anything else, there's a range that it tends to run between. Right now we're up here at the top of it, and I look for us to retrace back down here toward the bottom of that, somewhere around, depending on how the market goes for right now, I look for a retest back down to around the 25, and then from the 25 down to about the 23, and then maybe the 23 to about 21. And that's just the range that I'm seeing right now. If the market was to just keep running up like it is now, then could it hold up higher? Absolutely. But if we get the fall in the market that I'm expecting, I would definitely expect us to get back down there close to that 21 range, which is actually where I'm going to start accumulating it again at. I'm not a DCA'er. I'm not buying it right now at 30,000. I'll buy it when it gets back down closer to the bottom of that range, 25 or under. That's when I'll start accumulating again and getting that as much built up as I can. And that goes for all my cryptos, not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually, in all honesty, just about my smallest holding in crypto. I love Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's got a lot of room. But I just think some of the other altcoins have so much more room to run, so that's where I'm putting the bulk of my money. With that being said, what's going to happen in the market today? Let's not just talk about crypto, Josiah. Let's talk about the market a little bit. Well, we've got, let's see here, the S&P is up 0.12% in the pre-market, and we've got a little bit of red mixed in, but mostly green out there in the market, which I would kind of expect with Bitcoin running up the way it is. Now, with that being said, we already said that Bitcoin is right there at the top. Could we see crypto start to dump off toward the end of the day? We've got big news coming out this week, starting which is the CPI numbers coming out at 8:30 Eastern Time in the morning. When those CPI numbers hit, if they're worse than anticipated, that could be a big sell-off in the market right there. Could we see the market pull back this afternoon in preparation for that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I know that me personally, I'm expecting the CPI numbers to be a little bit worse than anticipated. We'll have to see if that pans out, but that's the way I'm leaning at the moment. Now, I will also say with crypto running up, Coinbase is finally running up. Now, we talked about Coinbase. I called Coinbase out yesterday, and we've been holding some $65 calls on Coinbase, which has been absolutely upside down now for about a week and a half. With that being said, we're finally up. We're finally in the money. We've got Coinbase trading over $68 here in the pre-market. Could this be the time that we see that gap fill up to about that $75 mark? Now, I'm the first to say, before the SEC decided to do an investigation and all that, with crypto trading here, we should see a $100 Coinbase. At least in the upper 90s. We've seen it trading in the low $90 range when we were only testing around that 25,000. So, should Coinbase be a whole lot higher than where it is? Absolutely. The whole SEC lawsuit, or investigation, should I say, you've heard me say it before, I think it's a fishing expedition, but it's put enough fear out there in the market that it's kept it suppressed. It's been trading well under where it should be. We've got those calls in place. I think this could be the day that we could see that run up. I would really love to be able to take profit on them and make some good money. And if you got into Coinbase yesterday, now I called out Coinbase just yesterday. Now I traded some other things, but you could have got Coinbase yesterday morning at under $60. So I mean, Coinbase has had a massive run up in the last 24 hours. Now, what else did we do yesterday? Well, we had the SQQQ calls that we bought on Thursday. We bought those last Thursday. I said I wanted to be ready for this week. We picked those up at $66 a contract, sold them for $100 a contract yesterday morning, just a little after open. That represented a 51.5% gain on that trade. I was super happy with that. And what did I do? Well, you know my feelings. When I think that one of the Qs have topped out, I usually switch over into the other, and that's exactly what I did. I sold the SQQQs, and I turned around and bought some calls on the TQQQ. I bought those calls at $124 contract, ran them up to $150 a contract, which represented a 20.9% gain on that trade. So again, super happy. And then you know what I did? I told you if I seen some strength in the market that I was going to take some long puts. When I sold those, that's exactly what I did. I bought a few more long puts all the way out to September, and I bought those up at the $27 strike price. So they're not as good as the 28 strikes that we bought last week, but we bought some more 27 strikes. It was a little bit cheaper, and I'm going to be holding those until we see this market come down, until we see the TQQQs falling down into those low 20s, if not back into the teens. That's my plan with that particular portfolio, I guess you could say, that I'm working with at the moment. I'm just putting some money in there. Every time I see strength, I'm buying those. I'm putting that off to the side, and I'm just holding that until we see this market roll down. So all in all, had a lot of trades happening yesterday, and they all worked out beautifully. So I was super happy with that. So let's continue to do the same today. Like I said, we know that we got crypto running. We'll see how those Coinbase calls work out. And if I see crypto starting to roll over, if I see Bitcoin retracing back off that 30, which is what I just told you I'm expecting to happen, that's where I'm going to look at picking up some puts. Now again, I know that's a little bit dangerous when I just said it's trading well below where it should be at. But we know that the FUD's out there. We know the fear is out there. If Bitcoin starts to reject and roll back down toward that 25,000, then Coinbase is going to come down as well. And I want to be ready for that. I want to catch that. So I'm going to be watching Coinbase to get that in. And I'm going to be watching. We'll see if the market has a pretty good at least morning. Maybe I can pick up some more long calls on the TQQQ. And when it gets up there, gets up high, I'm going to be looking at picking up some SQQQ and getting ready for that CPI number in the morning. So that's my plan for the day. Get out there, see if any of this makes sense for you. And until next time, remember, be blessed and never trade with your emotions. Always trade by the numbers.